Welcome to Just Hoops. Yesterday we had epic basketball across the association, but the Suns-Bucks matchup in Milwaukee was a major one for both teams. Yes, Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo were not playing, but there was a lot of high-level things going on, and I want to dive into the film and see what these teams did to duel. So first, let's look at the first quarter. From the jump, both teams identified the weaknesses they wanted to attack and went there. Milwaukee saw a strength and size advantage and went to attack the paint and be physical. Phoenix, on the other hand, saw an advantage in attacking the drop, but Milwaukee did a tremendous job throughout the entire first quarter at jamming actions, being high in the gaps, denying, especially when Ayton had the ball, and Brook Lopez was also higher in his drop coverage, starting at around the level of the screen to jam up the ball handler a little bit. But the guys on the perimeter were highly physical, highly active, getting up into the gaps off the ball, making it very difficult for decisions to be made. But early on, I think Phoenix identified the advantage will come through Ayton. We'll talk about that later. But Milwaukee wanted to pound the paint. They wanted to be physical. They wanted to show that they had a strength advantage and go at them consistently, whether it was paint touches on drives, post-ups, or just drive and kick and play with their space. But as we look at these possessions, even if Phoenix got multiple attempts or it was a longer possession, Milwaukee grinded them out. They played for the whole 24. They were low in their stance. They were connected on the help side, doing their jobs, doing their assignments at a high level. And if multiple shots were a thing, they made the effort to get the second rebound, made the effort to go out and contest. They were great at jamming early in possessions, getting up in Chris Paul, slowing them down. The whole goal by Milwaukee was to genuinely get Phoenix out of a rhythm with physicality. This is another multiple shot possession for Phoenix, showing that Phoenix did do a good job at getting the offensive glass, getting these opportunities, but the connectivity and just overall attention to detail that the Bucks brought to this end of the floor early in the game definitely set the tone, showed that they're here to play ball and that they're here to get this win, get their 13th in a row. Phoenix tried to go to the second side, tried to do different things, but the attention to detail by Milwaukee was evident throughout. And then Milwaukee continued. Even if they put up a three, it was because they were able to get some pressure on the paint, do things down there early, but the paint was their primary attack point. They wanted to put pressure there, whether it was a roll, whether it was a drive, whether it was something going on, and that paint pressure is what allowed them to open up offense throughout. And as the quarter progressed for the Phoenix Suns, they really wanted to get Devin Booker going, to get themselves in a rhythm, getting him in zooms, getting him in pick and rolls alone. And then Milwaukee continued to do what they were doing, put pressure on the paint, finish at the rim, draw fouls, and just be a physical presence. At the end of the quarter, Myers Leonard was subbed in for the Bucks, and the Suns saw weakness. They wanted to attack him in the drop specifically, whether it was Jock Longdale and Devin Booker, just to try to find a rhythm, get shots going, and the Bucks went to Chris Middleton late 10 in the quarter. This clip here, we're going to get Devin Booker in a pick and roll with Myers Leonard dropping, Jock Longdale rolling. It's just a lot of pressure on Myers Leonard, and they took that as an advantage. Now let's go to the second quarter. So to start the second quarter, Phoenix drew up this set to attack the drop off the ball. It was a really good job by Monty Williams to just attack their same weakness in a different way, but Milwaukee came out doing the same thing. They wanted to be physical, aggressive, and win the paint. That first shot attempt by Grayson Allen led to an offensive rebound by Bobby to 2 free throws. This possession here, I think, shows the strengths of both sides. The physicality by Milwaukee, but also the persistence and pressure that Phoenix was and will going to apply. Just the way that they're going at the rim, they're getting offensive rebounds, they're trying to play a little quick, but then the stoutness, physicality, and aggressiveness that Milwaukee played with throughout the entire game was evident here, not giving up even after 6 offensive rebounds. As the quarter continued, there was weakness found against the drop, and they were going to DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton had a tremendous quarter, and that was the weak point that Phoenix was trying to attack, while the Bucks began to settle a little bit, but every time they settled down, it was with a paint touch. Whether it was Brook Lopez or somebody playing off a drive, the paint was their home and their way to just center themselves offensively. The Suns, though, it was attack the drop, get Ayton a touch, and let him play in the short roll. Whether he was getting to his 15-footer or attacking the rim, he did a really good job at also allowing the offense to flow. Here, Chris Paul came off of him for a handoff again off the initial touch, but it led to a second side wide open shot for Devin Booker. Ayton opened up the offense for Phoenix this quarter, and his ability to score, be aggressive, and just attack led to a ton of opportunities for the Phoenix Suns. Milwaukee began to get rattled a little bit. They were forcing a couple threes, but as I said before, the paint was what poised them. It was what brought them home, what allowed them to just control the game, control the pace. And Ayton, yes, he was having a great quarter, but at the end of the day, you're living with these shots. He's taking 15 to 18 footers. Brook Lopez is dropping off, worried about the guard play of Book and CP. So Ayton is going to get opportunities. And I think that Milwaukee was willing to give these up to an extent, but the way that they were trying to get a rhythm going in Phoenix's terms and taking Milwaukee out of their game from a grinded out physical game to more of a pace, flow, get things going, but it was becoming a battle of pace. You can see that the Suns were trying to get a little bit quicker, a little bit more pop in their step, while Milwaukee was still trying to grind them out, play physical, be just a dominant force at both ends of the floor, and it was interesting to see that develop. Even though the Suns continue to attack the drop, continue to find those openings that way, the Bucks wanted to touch paint. The Bucks were like, hey, this is how we're going to win this game. We're going to be physical, play out of the post, play out of the paint, get these touches, and we're going to be able to win the game this way, playing inside out and producing high-level opportunities offensively. Milwaukee's style of play ended up ruling the day to end the quarter, getting a nice finish here by Brook Lopez in their last possession, and then being a physical defensive group, just being in the right positions off the ball, being up into the ball, and forcing a tough float by CP. Now let's go into the second half and see what happened in the third quarter. The early adjustment by Monty Williams was to get a lot empty side action or have Book as the lone man on the weak side. Here we're going to get a stack pick and roll where Book is flooding out weak and preventing help, making it a 2-on-2 action. That is a way to attack the drop and put more pressure on Brook, while Milwaukee went to Brook Lopez. Everything flowed through him, whether he was the screener, whether he was playing out of the post, whether he was playing out of a 5-out. Brook Lopez was the key to them throughout the entire quarter, and they genuinely went through him to start. His ability to screen, dive, rebound, just be an offensive presence, opened up space for Holiday, opened up space for their other guards to just go make plays, and the pressure he applied to the rim really made it tough for Phoenix to rotate and make plays on the outside. Here's another example of that empty side where Book is the lone man preventing help, opening up DA. Then we're going to keep going to this Holiday Brook action. It's an easy thing. It's hard for Phoenix to get both. And Brook was just having himself a quarter, going off, being physical, being aggressive as an offensive player. He's a past all-star due to his ability to score the ball, and he's one of the best drop guys in the league. But Phoenix kept attacking that drop. Throughout the start of the quarter, though, they were going paint heavy. Holiday and Brook were applying pressure to the paint via drive, via roll, and they were just playing in their spacing. And that possession here, getting Javon Carter, that corner three, was tremendous. But there was a switch flipped by the Phoenix Suns. They start playing with more pop, more pace. You can see that the momentum that they were trying to gather came through their pace, and they were trying to speed Milwaukee up, get them out of what they were doing. Milwaukee was still trying to offensively get to their spots, get to the paint, be a physical force, and just play slower, while the Suns were, once they were in the half court, they were trying to get quick hitters, trying to get a shot off before the 10-second mark in the shot clock. Just that change of pace that the Suns were going for definitely got the Bucks a little rattled, and the Bucks start pressing a little bit, getting out of what they were doing. They were forcing, but Brook and Holiday were doing great, and they were the home for them, just somebody that they could go to, get poised, do what they got to do, and make a play. And it was just cool to see how Milwaukee's able to do this offensively without Giannis. The first half of the third quarter was definitely run by the Bucks due to their stout defense, physicality, and making things difficult for the Phoenix Suns, even though they were trying to pick up the pace, and it was capped off by this lob by Grayson Allen. After that play, though, there was a timeout, and the Suns were like, hey, we really need to get going. Quick possessions, try to get shots off quick, try to force them into rotations, just make them play faster than they want to play at both ends of the floor. High pressure defensively, be more up in ball screens, just fly around. Even if they're going to make tough shots like Drew Holiday did there, we need to get up and down a little bit and force this defense to have to make rotations, not be set and just stagnate them a little bit, because they've been stagnating us with physicality. Let's stagnate them with speed and quickness and quick decision making. As the quarter went, the Suns began to go on a run, and it was due to this battle of pace. Milwaukee tried to slow it down, play their place, play more physical, while the Suns wanted to be more high pressure, force turnovers, get up and down, whether it's a make or miss, and just make plays that way. Once the ball was in the half court for the Suns, it was trying to make a quick hit decision, just play off the ball screen, attack the drop, and make things happen through that advantage that they saw. The end of the quarter resulted in a run by the Phoenix Suns, and you can see them bring that pace of play as a major reason why they were going on this run. And to end the quarter again, like the first quarter, Myers Leonard was in the game, and the Suns saw blood in the water and began to attack him in the drop heavily. This allowed Devin Booker to start catching rhythm, but defensively the Suns locked in, they honed in, they applied pressure, they were being very solid at the point, and help side was a lot more active than they've been all game. But the end of the quarter was Devin Booker trying to find his flow, find his rhythm, get to the foul line, get downhill, and this is the last possession of the quarter, playing one-on-one against Chris Middleton, getting to his spot, getting a good shot off, and knocking it down. Now, let's go to the fourth quarter of the game. To start the fourth quarter, the battle of pace continued. Both teams were trying to do their thing, get their rhythm. The Suns were trying to get up and down, play with pace, while the Bucks were trying to slow things down, get in the paint, be physical, try to wear them down for 24 seconds, like they did right here, getting a post touch for Chris Middleton, get him in a flow a little bit. But the Suns' pace was definitely a lot for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially with their bench unit in. They were trying to get up and down. They were throwing it ahead, playing off makes and misses, just playing with great tempo and pace and playing unselfishly. For the Bucks, they got punched in the mouth early in the quarter, but once Holiday and Brook came in the game and they got into their two-man actions, it was really tough for Phoenix to find an answer. These two guys are the head of the snake for them at both ends of the floor, being the main defenders, and also offensively, they were the guys that they were going to all game. So it was just natural for them to be the guys to bring poise and presence to both ends. You can see here, though, that the Suns still wanted to play with that pace, get downhill quick. Once they got in the half court, they were trying to play with that momentum, and it led to a Jock Longdale 3 on a second shot attempt there. But the Bucks began to genuinely go to Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, two-man action, just get them going, get them in a flow, try to get different guys involved. But at the end of the day, it was Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday that were commanding the show offensively. And then for the Phoenix Suns, it was trying to get Devin Booker and CP in a flow, playing off of a DeAndre Ayton action, just keep attacking that drop. They kept doing it all game. That was the weak point that they wanted to go at, and it was consistent throughout the fourth quarter. They were really trying to go at Brook Lopez, make him make decisions, whether he's in the help side or in a drop. And with Devin Booker, they were trying to get good switches on him, like Jay Crowder. That was the primary matchup that they were hunting when Jay Crowder was on the floor. And the Bucks, as I said before, Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez were their answers offensively. For the Suns, though, they really just kept going Devin Booker, CP with a DA screen, just playing downhill, playing off of that great screening action. And DeAndre Ayton was eating both in early rolls and early seals, just playing with that pace, playing with that flow, and making things easy offensively. That battle of pace, though, was such a big point. The Phoenix Suns getting up into the ball, trying to force turnovers, while the Bucks were trying to slow you down, be physical, grit and grind with you. Holiday, Lopez, Middleton were just being consistent, just energy out there, while the Suns were trying to get up and down. Yes, Milwaukee went on a little bit of a run late, but the pressure applied by Phoenix was definitely there, and it was felt. The Milwaukee Bucks were just able to understand that they could play together. They could play poised. It led to a Jay Crowder 3 there. And they were like, hey, we need to get back to our game to tie this up and potentially win. Yes, Devin Booker was playing well. CP was playing well, attacking the drop. DeAndre Ayton was also playing very well. But the poise and patience brought to you by Drew Holiday, by Brook Lopez, and just them going out there playing team ball. Jay Crowder hit 2 massive threes off of ball movement, off of paint touches. And Milwaukee just got back to playing their style of basketball. Yes, in this position, Jay Crowder got switched on to Devin Booker, but he played solid. Everybody was in the right spots. They got the rebound, got an outlet, threw it ahead, and they played team basketball. They got into their 4-out, 1-in spacing, and it led to a Drew Holiday bucket in the paint, but they were playing unselfish. They were playing together. They were hunting the best possible bucket with 3 minutes left to tie the game up. Suns went to a stack ATO like they were doing in the third quarter, but Brook Lopez made a huge play. Jay Crowder came in as the help side, just big-time defensive effort. And then back on the offensive end of the floor, you can see the Bucks were starting to go with more three-man stuff with Brook, Middleton, and Holiday, but they were just playing in their space. They were playing their style of basketball, and it led to a lot of good opportunities. The Suns, though, understood that their advantage would come through DeAndre Ayton being a screener, CP and Book getting downhill, making plays. Milwaukee was really just trying to get Middleton, Holiday, and Brook in spots to make plays, and they were making them. This game was for sure defensive battle, and these next two clips show that. There was a blitz on the early ball screen as the switch was trying to get forced. Yes, the switch happened, but you can see Drake Crowder's up into the ball making things happen. Everybody else is in a position to go make a play. They double Devin Booker late. They give up an offensive rebound, but they gather it late. And then this clip here, the Phoenix Suns get up into the ball. Devin Booker does a great individual job. Everybody else is in a position to make a play in the gap, and they end up forcing the shot clock violation. As the game progressed, though, Phoenix needed a bucket. They cleared out a side for Devin Booker in this ATO, allowed him to go post one-on-one, and he made a tough fadeaway jumper to tie the game with 33 seconds left. The Bucks at the other end of the floor went to Holiday as a distraction, got Middleton the ball, Brook Lopez as the screener, diver, catch it high, keep it high, finish for the lead. Down two, the Phoenix Suns wanted to get Devin Booker an easy touch. They do it in a forced curl set, and they try to get that switch with Jay Crowder, but Drew Holiday comes up with a defensive play of the game. He sits down, stays solid individually, and forces the turnover. And then in this next clip here, Drew Holiday missed the free throw. The Suns gather it, they throw it ahead, and it's a scary moment for the Bucks as they foul Devin Booker on a three in the corner. This type of play could have led to a tie, but Devin Booker did not capitalize on the free throws. They grab the rebound, and Bucks win 104-101. The major takeaways from this matchup were the championship pedigree of both teams and the defensive stoutness that both teams present in different ways. The physicality the Bucks brought to the defensive end of the floor definitely stagnated the Suns early, and then later in the game, the Suns with pressure and just being in the gaps, forcing turnovers and being aggressive in that way was definitely fun to see. Looking forward, though, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant did not play in this game. Two top 5 players in the game of basketball, and they already have championship pedigree teams around them. I'm excited to see both these guys back on the floor just as a fan of the game, but also in playoff time to potentially see them match up in the NBA Finals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about the highest level of basketball. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.